Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show.
Soon, Wang Kemeng took the people from the embassy out of Wadagu, and Song Meng and others happened to find a few more cars. At this time, the troops who landed from the coast were still on their way. They rescued the overseas Chinese all the way to the capital Wadagu. The man is handed over to you. I have to go in and rescue. Wang Kemeng handed over the man to Song Meng. No problem, Tang Lei. You're escorting the ambassador, my third child, Chinzei, and I will stay here to meet the next batch of overseas Chinese. Song Meng assigns tasks, and there is still a need for people to respond here. As long as you leave the capital Wadagu, the situation will be a little better, and it is enough to have people from the peacekeeping force. Let's leave a few people behind, so that we can have more people to help. Guanyan got out of the car with a few peacekeepers. Adugu was the most chaotic, and it would be better if there were more people. Wang Kemeng nodded. Okay, you guys wait here. After speaking, he looked at Hua Qinian again. Ambassador Hua, do you know how many overseas Chinese in the city have not evacuated? Overseas Chinese in the city have records in the embassy. Hua Qinian frowned and thought for a moment. Apart from the overseas Chinese who have fled to the embassy, there should be more than 20 people in Wadagu who have not evacuated. They are all concentrated in a steel factory. I don't know which steel factory. On the way to the embassy, I encountered rebel troops and hid. This is the news I got before the communication was cut off. Okay, I'm going to rescue them now. After Wang Kemeng finished speaking, he turned back to Wadagu again. Everyone looked at the handsome back of the dark dragon armor and sighed. The technology of the motherland has reached this level. Song Meng laughed and said, "It all depends on a terrifying genius." As he spoke, he raised the gun in his hand. Hua Qinian was surprised. This is all developed by one person? Song Meng nodded slightly, and then said to the refugees, "The Nefeso people stay. We will leave some cars for you, but you can't evacuate with us." Among the more than 50 people, there are more than a dozen refugees from Nefeso, and there are only a few government troops who died. The refugees bowed to Song Meng gratefully, and that was enough. Everyone quickly supported them. No need, we are leaving. Hua Qinian said with emotion, "It is always the people who are injured in war, hey. Song Meng and the others can't help everyone. They can only blame themselves for being too weak." Manipulated by Ying Jiang, reduced to a tool. Tang Lei drove away with people from the embassy and overseas Chinese. Hua Qinian patted Song Meng and Guanyan on the shoulders. "Be careful. Do not worry." After everyone left, Song Meng and Guanyan went to find the car again, waiting to pick up the next batch of evacuated overseas Chinese. Longyuan No. 1 marked the location of all the steel factories in the ancient city of Water. Immediately, 2 red spots appeared on the small map in the upper right corner of Wang Kemeng's vision. Dark Dragon 1, start the route navigation. Activated. Wang Kemeng immediately rushed to the first steel plant along the route. Suddenly, on the small map, the Ryonjian anti-gravity fighter marked 2 rebels in the second floor of an unfinished building. There are too many walls, which are a bit complicated, and the smart bullets are not easy to track. Wang Kemeng directly replaced it with a YBD-01 electromagnetic sniper rifle, aimed at the marked point, and shot directly. There were 2 soft beeps. The powerful kinetic energy instantly penetrated the wall and directly took away the rebels who were hiding in the room and were about to ambush him. Along the way, all the people who ambushed him were discovered by him in advance, and they were beaten to death through the wall from a long distance away. There were also mobs and rebels who were burning, killing, and looting, and they were all dealt with by him. Soon he came to the first steel factory, but except for the rebels who ambushed him, there were no overseas Chinese in it. Wang Kemeng went in and started the massacre directly, without giving a chance at all, killed them all, and then continued to the next steel factory. Inside the presidential palace. "Fac, what the hell is this? Our people were all killed before they saw the target," a small captain said angrily. Zombie frowned, pacing back and forth in the president's office irritably. Is there really only one person on the other side? The subordinate immediately reported, "That's right." Zambi clenched his teeth. No matter how good he is, there is only one person. We have that big killer. There is no problem. W. As he spoke, he looked at the Eagle Sauce Bradley M3 infantry fighting vehicle parked outside. Although it is an old object decades ago, in a small country like Nefeso, this chariot is invincible. It uses gap armor, a total of 3 layers of steel armor, with a total thickness of 152.4 millimeters, but most of the middle is gaps, and the actual armor thickness is less than 40 millimeters. Although the bulletproof ability has been greatly improved, the 100 millimeters penetration of the YBD-01 electromagnetic sniper rifle is just like paper. Report: the Black God of Death in Yanwang Kingdom is going to another steel factory. I'm afraid he will find here soon. A cold light flashed in Zambi's eyes. You are a chariot. Everyone is on alert. I will never return. There are more than 300 people in the entire presidential palace, 10 RPGs, and 5 Gatlings. He relied on this powerful firepower to take down the presidential palace. He didn't believe that such powerful firepower could be afraid of a so-called Black God of Death. 2 rounds of RPG can't kill you, then 1 shot. Wang Kameng encountered more ambushes on the way to the second steel factory, and he knew that the overseas Chinese must no longer be in the steel factory. This time he caught a rebel and forced him to ask, "Where have you taken all the people from Yanwang Kingdom?" The rebels had already been terrified by Wang Kameng, who was like a god of death. He watched helplessly as his companion was killed in an instant even though he was in the room, blood spattered all over his face. Before he could react, he saw a tall black figure jumping high from the first floor to the window on the second floor, blocking the sunlight. The dark dragon armor against the light looks more like a god of death. The man cried, "I was taken to the presidential palace by General Zambi. Please don't kill me. Please let me go." Wang Kameng snorted coldly. "If you dare to attack our Yanwang embassy, you will be punished." Blood spattered everywhere, and Wen Ku went to the presidential palace without looking back. He jumped on the roof, which is the outer slums, and the presidential palace is in the city center. It is said that it is the city center, and there are not many high-rise buildings. Most of them are still small buildings with 2 or 3 floors. The presidential palace is well built, with 5 floors. It looks very big. And there are several drones hovering over the presidential palace. Wang Kameng didn't rush in directly. He had to find out where Chu Wacha was. Obviously, the other party took them as hostages, and if they entered rashly, they might hurt the hostages. YBD-01 has a range of more than 4,000 meters, so you can make good use of it. Wang Kameng found a 3-story building, got down on the ground, and set up a sniper rifle and began to observe. The dark dragon armor marked all the equipment in the presidential palace. Tisk, M3 infantry fighting vehicle. Ying Jiang is not hiding it at all. Wang Kameng looked at the situation in the presidential palace coldly through the focusing function of the armor's cellular vision system. Unfortunately, this thing is useless at all. If they are not equipped with the latest weapons and dark dragon armor and rush to rescue the overseas Chinese, they will really be caught. Without special anti-material weapons, it is difficult to penetrate this infantry fighting vehicle. Thinking of the drone and anti-aircraft artillery camps in the capital Wadagu, it's all about the eagle sauce behind the knife. Wang Kiman aimed the YBD-01 at the infantry fighting vehicle and shot directly. At the presidential palace 3 kilometers away, everyone heard a loud noise and rushed outside to check. Wang Defa, "General, the chariot was shot through, and one of the brothers inside died." The subordinates shouted in horror. They saw that there were 6 bullet holes on the M3 infantry fighting vehicle. The thick gap armor was actually pierced directly. They looked around hurriedly, but there was no one in sight. The rebels in the infantry fighting vehicle also escaped from the tank in horror. Zombie was shocked. This was his strongest weapon, and it was pierced. Most importantly, I still can't find where the enemy is. Fake, fake, fake. Didn't you say that there is a black god of death? Come on, he will only attack in the dark. Zambi didn't dare to go out. He squatted in the office, yelling unwillingly. God knows if the enemy will shoot through the wall and kill him. At this time, screams continued to come from outside the mansion. Standing on guard outside, preparing to meet Wang Kameng's rebels, they fell one by one. Their deaths were terrifying, and the parts that were hit were all smashed to pieces. What kind of weapon is this? Smash the bones. Everyone was terrified, watching their companions die inexplicably beside them one by one like this. It was really tormenting. The drone can't find the Black Death? I didn't expect them to have a sniper. Zombie slammed the table angrily. The one who can kill them silently one by one must be a sniper. If this continues, they are too passive. As soon as his words fell, several drones in the sky were shot down one by one. These are ordinary drones, not specialized military drones. Quickly, let all the people outside back in. Everyone had been waiting for this order for a long time, and when they heard Zambi's order, everyone rushed into the presidential palace. Just when everyone thought it was safe and breathed a sigh of relief, a person suddenly panicked and said, "That person seems to be able to penetrate walls. Tell me, will he?" Before he finished speaking, his head exploded in everyone's eyes. This kind of shock scared the MOCN rebels to shout, and some even ran outside, trying to escape. But he was named immediately and died tragically on the spot. Too much deceit. Zambi roared angrily, "Take all the people from Yen Wang Kingdom outside. I'll see if they dare to attack again. If he dared to kill one of us, we would execute one of them." The people of Yen Wang have a lot of friendship and put people's lives first. Then he will definitely not dare to do anything. Zombie thought of such a plan for himself and smiled triumphantly. When everyone heard the plan, they took all 23 overseas Chinese outside and pointed guns at their heads. Seeing this situation, Wang Kameng grinned unconsciously. What he wants is this effect, to bring all the overseas Chinese out, so that they will not be threatened by the rebels. So he quickly put away the YBD-01 electromagnetic sniper rifle, replaced it with the YBZ-10 type, and then headed towards the presidential palace at full speed. Seeing that they were not attacked again, everyone in the presidential palace got up immediately. It seems that using overseas Chinese as hostages works well. "Hey, it's because of you that my brother died just now." A rebel grabbed an overseas Chinese girl and slapped her twice. "What?" The girl cried out in pain and was knocked out of the field. "You all have to die." Suddenly, a black figure appeared in front of the rebel, and he felt a sharp pain in the arm that hit him. Before he could scream, he felt a cold brow and lost all consciousness. "Hit him with rockets!" Zambi yelled, but ran into the president's office by himself. The rebel immediately took the RPG and shot. The Dark Dragon armor automatically locks on high-risk targets and can kill 40 enemies at one time. 5 or 6 rockets fired at Wang Kameng at the same time with trailing flames, and the other people carrying the RPG were killed before they fired. Wang Kameng rushed to all the rockets at once to prevent accidental injury to overseas Chinese. Boom boom. Explosions sounded one after another. Fierce flames erupted and engulfed him directly. In the flames, he fired a gun with one hand, grabbed a rocket with the other, and threw it at the rebels. RPG is that the warhead hits the fuse to trigger the explosion, so as long as you don't touch the warhead fuse. Everyone looked at the flying rockets in horror and fled away. The rebels didn't have the Dark Dragon armor, so they were directly blown to death. In just one meeting, all the rebels carrying the RPG were killed, and the rebels who held the overseas Chinese were also wiped out. It was so fast that the rebels had no time to react. It only takes less than a second for Wang Kameng to reload, and there is almost no gap between the bullets. With a rate of fire of 2,000 rounds per minute, the YBZ-10 can fire more than 30 bullets in just 1 second, which means that more than 30 rebels will die in 1 second. But the bullets of the rebels could not hurt Wang Kameng at all. He just stood there, 1 against 300. F***K, how to fight this? The Black Death is real. It can't be killed at all. What the hell is that? Why can't even rocket bombs blow up? Run away. Not only can't kill him, but his bullets seem to have eyes. No matter where he hides, he will be hit. Maid, I'll have to take it back when I die. Several rebels pointed their guns at the hostages, but they were immediately locked and killed by the Dark Dragon armor. 947. You all go to the back and hide. Wang Kamang roared. More than 20 overseas Chinese hurriedly ran behind him. All rebels targeting them will be eliminated first. The overseas Chinese fled to the wall, and when they looked back, they saw a tall black figure holding a gun, repeatedly reloading and firing. Face hundreds of armed rebels in front of you alone. The muzzle of the gun continued to spit fire snakes, and the rebels fell one by one. It's a completely one-sided situation. He is like the invincible black god of war. This suit of armor is really cool. That gun too, the bullets seem to be traceable. I saw the red color on his chest. It's amazing to my country. Many of them took cover and hid to prevent accidental injury by stray bullets. Damn it, I'll ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** MK27 shoulder-fired rocket launcher. This is a large-caliber rocket. Ordinary RPG generally refers to RPG-7. The caliber is only 40 millimeters, and the caliber of this rocket is 105 millimeters. The Dark Dragon armor quickly marked the weapon information, and Wang Kameng happened to be changing bullets at this time. Zombie fired straight away. The explosive force of this missile is enormous. The rocket shot towards Wang Kameng quickly, but in the honeycomb vision system of the Dark Dragon armor, it seemed that the speed was not fast. Wang Kameng's legs suddenly exerted strength, and he rushed over. Accurately grasped this large-caliber rocket with one hand. Then in the terrified and incredible eyes of everyone, there was a sound of boom, and it exploded directly. A huge explosion sounded, and the shock wave, CCPH, quickly impacted all around. Because he was worried that overseas Chinese would be affected, Wang Kameng ran towards the rebels and then exploded. At this point, he was very close to the rebels. The rebels didn't wear Dark Dragon armor like him. The huge explosion directly killed dozens of rebels. This picture is so shocking. It has more impact than hard anti-missiles. He even exploded a large-caliber rocket with his bare hands. At that moment, the firelight reflected on the golden honeycomb visual device, like the god of death who harvested their lives. The devil. This fellow is a devil. The rebels are already terrified. Wang Kameng quickly changed the bullet and sent it away. Still in a daze, Zambi went to Shitian with a horrified expression on his face. Once Zombie died, the other rebels who had no fighting spirit at all suddenly lost the idea of continuing to fight. Another route and escape. Wang Kameng didn't let them go and chased them out. These are all evil people who dare to kidnap overseas Chinese from Yanwang. They should be killed. Another harvest without suspense. No matter how the rebels escape, they will be chased and killed by Wang Kameng. This time he did not spare a rebel. After a while, Wang Kameng returned to the presidential palace, and the vicinity was emptied by the rebels, so there was no one there. After he wiped out all the rebels, it was very safe here. I am Wang Kameng, the captain of the Yanlong Special Forces of the Zijin military region. I will drive out and I will take you to evacuate. As soon as the voice fell, several people came out immediately. After Wang Kameng took them to find a usable car, he came back to pick up all the remaining overseas Chinese. Hi sir, we were going to the embassy. Before we were arrested, we heard that there was a siege there. I don't know if they have evacuated safely. There are concerns about the safety of the embassy. Yes, my parents went to the embassy first. I don't know if they are safe or not. Some people fear for the safety of their loved ones. Wang Kameng comforted. Don't worry. All the people in the embassy have been evacuated safely. Everyone was relieved after hearing the words, and all laughed happily. The motherland has not forgotten them, specially sends such powerful fighters to rescue them. Wang Kameng ran in front of the convoy to lead the way, and the others followed. This man actually runs faster than driving a car. I want to wear this suit of armor too. It's simply invincible. Just now he directly squeezed and exploded a rocket. It's really too fierce. I will never do business abroad again. It's still safe at home. Yes, China is definitely the safest country. Everyone decided not to go abroad for the rest of their lives after the catastrophe. After all, life is more important. After Wang Kameng and others left, another group of government troops came to the presidential palace in Wadagu, the capital, and they approached the presidential palace carefully. I heard fierce fighting and fire just now, and I don't know what's going on inside. They are Vice President Nefeso, who wants to take back the presidential palace. The president has been sacrificed by the rebels. When they walked into the presidential palace, they saw the corpses of rebels all over the place. There are broken limbs and broken arms everywhere, and there are traces left by the explosion on the ground. The M3 infantry fighting vehicle also had some armor damage. Wang Defa, what is the situation? So many rebels died. Which country's army came here just now? Helped us suppress the rebels. Look, that's General Zombie, and he's dead too. Vice President, go in quickly. Once Zombie dies, the rebels will be leaderless. We will immediately announce that we have regained control of Wadagu, killed Zombie, and announce to the world that the rebels have failed. The vice president immediately entered the president's office, and everyone began to tidy up and build defenses to prevent the rebels from fighting back. Arish or C. On the Peanut-Ton aircraft carrier, Michael received the last phone call from General Zombie, as well as some surveillance images. What is this? The Terminator. Michael pointed to the black dragon armor in the picture, his mouth shut in surprise. In less than a minute of the entire battle, the rebels were completely defeated. It simply overturned his imagination. Jones shook his head. It should be some kind of individual armor, which is much stronger than our individual exoskeleton armor. Their state-of-the-art exoskeleton armor is just an aid. It can improve the soldier's individual load and small-scale assist in shooting stability and other functions. It can help soldiers lift 100 kilograms of objects easily, and it is very easy to lift and put down hundreds of times in a row, and the field soldiers will not be tired. This is already leading the world, but it is not bulletproof. They also don't have this kind of full-coverage individual armor. That's still the theoretical presence in the research design. But Yan Wang has already been created, and not only can it resist bullets, but it can also resist rockets. Even squeeze rockets. Are you afraid? Fake, what kind of secret technology did Yan Wang acquire? So many high-techs appeared at once, much better than ours. Michael looked at the surveillance video in disbelief. The individual equipment of the two countries is simply incomparable. In the past, Ying Jiang's individual equipment was the most complete and the best. Body armor, helmets, night vision goggles, etc. are all at the top level in the world. But now it is directly surpassed by Yan Huang's individual armor. Still the crushing kind. Jones was also surprised. I didn't expect the bullet tracking to be real, and their introduction to the military parade is all real. Michael freezes the picture to the place where Zambi's men check the M3 infantry fighting vehicle being pierced. So, this should be caused by the electromagnetic sniper rifle at the military parade. Jones nodded. Now whether it's individual equipment or firearms, Yan Wang always beats them up. Michael's face was very ugly, and he gritted his teeth and said, It's useless even if their army is strong. We have the strongest air force and navy in the world, and it seems that their armor hasn't been installed yet. Jones was a little worried. They still have that anti-gravity fighter jet, which is also terrifying in terms of performance. Michael waved his hand irritably. It doesn't matter. There is only one aircraft on the parade. It is estimated to be a demonstration aircraft, and it will take several years before it is officially installed. The more advanced it is, the harder it is to officially enter service. Jones nodded. Indeed, it will take a long time from the verification machine to the official model determination. The configuration of advanced fighters is high, and it takes more time to verify and manufacture. It is extremely difficult. At that time, Our 6th-generation aircraft will be developed, and there will even be such advanced fighter jets. I don't believe that our Ying Jiang will be worse than Yan Wang. Michael's eyes were cold. Notify the people in Nefeso. It's time to close the net. Wang Kemeng brought the last batch of overseas Chinese and Song Meng and others together at Wadagu and evacuated towards the coastal port. Wadagu is about 500 kilometers away from the coastal port. We passed through 2 small towns on the way, and it took about 6 hours to get there. Their speed was fast along the way, despite the vice president's announcement. But once a small country like Nefeso is in chaos, it is difficult to completely restore peace. If one General Zombie goes down, there will be a second General Zombie. Not long after Wang Kemeng and others left, Wadagu was in chaos again. The presidential palace was attacked by rebels again, but this time they blocked the attack with the equipment left behind by Zombie. Wang Kemeng led the convoy through the first small town successfully. On the way to the second small town, the officers and soldiers who landed from 052D also arrived there. Lion Jian 1 is calling the Dark Dragon. There are a large number of rebels moving in front of you. Suddenly, Wang Kemeng received a warning from Long Yuan and marked the trajectory of a large number of rebels on the map. According to radar statistics, there are at least 300 people. Looking at their route, they wanted to block their only way from 3 sides. Wang Kemeng immediately stretched out his hand to signal the convoy behind him to stop. "Captain, what's the situation?" Song Meng and others got out of the car and ran over to ask. Wang Kemeng replied, "There are rebels blocking the way ahead." Song Meng was surprised. "What? There are also rebels blocking the way. How do they know our route so well?" Wang Kemeng said lightly, "Who is behind it, don't you know?" Song Meng nodded. "I know. What should I do then? Detour?" Wang Kemeng shook his head. "No, we just wait here." Song Meng was stunned for a moment, then went back to explain the situation to everyone. "Lion Jian, how about their weapons and equipment? If the distance is too far, the Dark Dragon cannot see the rebels, so it is impossible to analyze the equipment situation." Eagle Sauce is really straightforward. All 3 are mechanized teams, and they are all equipped with an M3 infantry fighting vehicle, 2 Stinger anti-tank missiles, and 2 Pacesetter anti-tank missiles. These are probably used to hit you. The heavy stab is estimated that they think there are drones in the sky to cooperate with you in combat. There are 2 Gatlings, 4 RPG, 7 rockets, and 4 RPG-27 rockets. This firepower can push all the government forces in Wadagu horizontally. Long Yuan reported all the equipment of the 3 teams to Wang Kemeng. Wang Kemeng laughed and said, "They really think highly of me, and even dispatched such a strong firepower to deal with me." The pilot on Long Jian joked, "I blame you for being too strong. How about it? Are you going to go, or should I solve it?" Wang Kemeng thought for a while and said, "Hey, I'm tired from beating up. In order to avoid hurting my compatriots, come this time." Received. I must complete the task. To be honest, I just want to try Long Yuan's weapon, but for this level of rebels, the main gun can't be used, so I can only use 2 machine guns to have fun. The tone of the pilot on Long On was a little excited. He is the Veron 20 ace pilot Luo Ping who intercepted Long Yuan. After being defeated by Ryan Jian for the first time, he vowed to fly this terrifying fighter. Now he has got his wish, and he will not fail to cooperate with Tian in combat. From here, he discovered that Long Yuan's radar can cover the entire territory of Nefeso. And it is a variety of radar hybrids, heat sources, X-rays, infrared, etc., integrated together. It can perfectly cooperate with Wang Kemeng's Dark Dragon armor. Heaven and Earth form an integrated battle. Now he had another chance to try out the 2 electromagnetic cannons on board. Might he had seen before, but trying it himself now is different. Even better. "Captain Mocha, we are so well equipped. Why don't we directly attack Wadagu and take down the presidential palace, which is now occupied by the army of the trash vice president?" 10 rebels on the M3 infantry fighting vehicle asked Mocha, the leader of Wang Zhong's rebel team. Their current equipment can completely dominate the whole country. But now they were sent to intercept a team of Yan Wang people. Mocha said impatiently. How do I know? The other side asked us to intercept here. What can I do? Fake, I also want to score into Wadagu. How comfortable it is to hug left and right. The subordinate continued to ask, who on earth needs our so many powerful equipment to intercept? Stop talking nonsense, who am I to ask? It's just a group of overseas Chinese and soldiers from the Yanwang Kingdom. Let's settle it quickly and then attack Wadagu. I'll be the president. Mocha said viciously. Soon, their team arrived at the predetermined ambush location. This is a bend, and there are several dilapidated houses around it, which are no longer inhabited. 3 mechanized teams ambushed in these broken houses. Luo Ping saw all this clearly through the omnidirectional helmet on Long Yuan. The electromagnetic cannons under the 2 wings were directly opened. Lock on and launch. Several consecutive large-caliber tungsten alloy bullets fell from the sky. With a violent wind. Boom. Boom. The loud explosions sounded together. No one knew what was going on at all. There is also no reaction time at all. Huge kinetic energy suddenly poured into the ground, causing a strong explosion in an instant. The 3 mechanized teams were smashed instantly. Only Wang Kemeng, who was wearing the dark dragon armor, captured the moment when the bullet shot from the sky to the ground through the armor's vision system. Everyone heard the wind from the sky from a long distance away, and then there were continuous explosions. What happened? I think I heard an explosion. Overseas Chinese gathered face to face and looked nervously at Wang Kemeng. Song Ming glanced at the sky and grinned. He knew why the captain asked to wait for a while. Okay, I think the previous threat should have been resolved. Dark Dragon, the target has been cleared. Luo Ping reported the situation of the battle. Receive. Wang Kemeng walked into the team, continued to set off. Everyone was a little puzzled. Didn't they say there was an ambush just now? Could it be that the sound of the explosion was attacking the ambush rebels? When everyone reached that bend, the scene in front of them stunned everyone. The ground around the road is all lifted. It was as if it had been bombed by countless shells. The houses were all razed to the ground, leaving only bloody stones. Parts of infantry fighting vehicles are everywhere, but no complete piece of iron can be found. Is this a warship firing? The overseas Chinese knew that they were evacuating to a warship, so they thought it was a warship that bombed here. The motherland is too irritable this time, too fierce. Song Ming and the others smiled slightly after hearing this. Guanyan walked up to Song Ming curiously and asked, Brother, this must not have been bombed by a warship. Song Ming pointed to the sky. It's just firing the cannon. But when Guanyan heard it, he thought it was a few shots. Soon, Wang Kemeng joined the landing force in the second small town, asking for flowers. He continued to go to the battleship with the overseas Chinese searched and rescued by the landing team. His work here is done. 2 hours later, Wang Kemeng and others arrived safely at the evacuation port. I saw 2 huge 052D warships parked in the port, and the entire port was flying bright red. Only Yanwang sent warships to escort the evacuees. Rows of soldiers stood guard around the battleship. Regardless of the occasional explosions in the distance, they were never afraid. Because there are 2 powerful warships here, backed by a powerful motherland. After the overseas Chinese evacuated from Nefeso are registered, they can board the ship. When the overseas Chinese behind Wang Kemeng saw the relatives and friends who had taken refuge in the embassy, they all ran over happily and hugged each other. For them, it was like a dream. The appearance of Wang Kemeng caused many people to look sideways. The guarding soldiers immediately saluted him. Thanks for your hard work. Wang Kemeng expressed condolences to the soldiers. Then he and the 10th team went to the airport to take a transport plane back home. After all the overseas Chinese were evacuated, Luo Ping also drove Long Yuan back to the Beiyang military region. 2 warships sailed to the motherland with overseas Chinese. At the port, people from other countries watched the Yanwang people evacuate safely. Not only did they have warships coming, but even troops entered the chaotic Nefeso to look for Chinese people. Fake. What about our people? Fake. Why haven't you come yet? Yanhuang's battleship is gone, and the port is not safe anymore. Mada, hurry up, you won't be able to wait for those idiots. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Michael slapped the table frantically, looking at the picture on the screen in disbelief. Their satellites saw a mysterious attack and instantly destroyed their armed rebels. Still from the sky. But their radar did not scan any fighters at all, only heard a strong wind roar. They purposely armed an anti-aircraft battalion of rebels. But from the beginning to the end, no fighter was found. And the transport plane completely bypassed their air defense area, as if they knew where they were. Calm down, General Michael. The failure of this operation does not mean any loss to me. We just provided some weapons, but Yanhuang dispatched 2 warships and soldiers to rescue, taking a greater risk. Jones comforted him. Michael panted heavily and calmed down a bit. I know our strategy is successful, and the weapons are also sold to them, but I want to know what kind of attack it was, why our satellites and Leda didn't have any warning. I also saw too many incredible things. Damn hard anti-rockets, single-body armor with rockets in hand, and bullet-tracking guns. He felt like he was watching a movie. Jones also had a serious face. That's right, Yanhuang must have done something behind the scenes. Michael took a sip of coffee angrily. What do the group of idiots in the Black Palace say? The situation here has been told to them. Jones looked a bit embarrassed. Mr. President, I think there is no need to worry too much. Ying Jiang is still the most powerful existence in the world. Yanhuang may have some high tech, but it is nothing compared to Ying Jiang. F***K, he's farting. Michael cursed loudly. We are indeed the strongest in the world, but Yanhuang must have a lot of good things. We must do something. Tomorrow, our aircraft carrier battle group will approach Bend Island soil. Yanhuang Kingdom, overseas Chinese who evacuated Nefeso within a few days caused quite a stir in the world. In Nefeso, the legend of the Black God of Death has since spread. Domestic. The site selection for the first controllable nuclear fusion power plant must be decided today. Zhou Ping was in trouble looking at the map. Because there are too many places to apply for, and the most competitive ones are Yanjing, Haisher, Zijin, Guanghe, and Lajong. Because a city needs only one controllable nuclear fusion power station to realize power supply for the whole city. It can save a lot of energy, reduce carbon emissions, and is especially good for the environment. The electricity bill can also be reduced a lot, which is a project that benefits the people. Chen Wei expressed his thoughts. My opinion is to choose Xiaoya's hometown. Controlled nuclear fusion was developed by him, so it's better to take care of his hometown. Wei Chen nodded and said in agreement, That's right, and Zijin City is also a good choice. It is the hub of Jiangnan. Zhou Ping pointed to Zijin City on the map. That's right here. The Department of Energy of Zijin City was very excited when it received the notice from the Dragon Academy of Sciences. The first controllable nuclear fusion power station is of great significance and is very important for urban construction. When I learned that it was because the developer's hometown is Zijin City, I was even more overjoyed. This is a very good publicity opportunity. In order to implement the construction of the 140 controllable nuclear fusion power station, the existing power grid also needs to be changed. The power grid leading to the controllable nuclear fusion power station needs to be erected in advance and connected with the existing power grid. When the controllable nuclear fusion power plant is completed, it will be self-sufficient, and there is no need to connect to the grid from the outside, and there is no need to provide electricity to the outside. A controllable nuclear fusion power station is more than enough to supply power to a city, including all counties under it. The country only needs more than 600 power stations. And the current number of power stations totals more than 10 million. Most of them are thermal power generation, which consumes a lot of energy, and mining coal mines will destroy the ecological environment and pollute the environment. In some areas, if there is a lot of power generation, it needs to be transported to the core cities with little power generation. Such connectivity between cities requires a large number of infrastructure, such as electric towers and cables, which requires huge investment. Therefore, the construction of a controllable nuclear fusion power station is of great significance. Zijin City immediately mobilized all power system personnel to prepare for the implementation of the controllable nuclear fusion power station. During the construction of the controllable nuclear fusion power station, the power grid will be transformed accordingly, and then it can be built at the same time and directly powered on. Zhou Ping rushed to Zijin City with scientific researchers to guide the construction of the world's first controllable nuclear fusion power station. The news about the construction of the world's first controllable nuclear fusion power station in Zijin City directly rushed to the trending searches. Eagle Sauce is in a hurry. Especially in countries like Gallic chickens and Hans cattle, winter is about to come, and they're extremely short of electricity. Energy is also limited, and every winter is a test for them. Therefore, there is a great need for controllable nuclear fusion power plants. But there is still only one condition for Yan Wang: change. Take what Yan Wang is interested in exchange. For a while, most countries were silent. They were waiting for the completion of the first controllable nuclear fusion power station. If they can really run safely, they can only consider Yan Wang's conditions. But the country headed by Ying Jiang still wants Yan Wang to be open, and the sun has set to follow suit and sanction Yan Wang. Arish or Sea. Michael's peanut-ton aircraft carrier battle group slowly approached Bend Island. How is it? Does Huangguo make any moves? Michael stood on the island, blowing the sea breeze comfortably, looking at the blue sea. Jones stood aside, looking at the island in the distance with a telescope. He shook his head and said, "No, except for a protest statement." Michael grinned. "They can only protest. Have you seen this? That's why they can only endure." He pointed to the F/A-18E carrier-based fighter jets on the deck. There are also several F-35B vertical takeoff and landing fighters. They have the strongest air force and navy. This is his arrogant capital. To show off my muscles this time, I want to beat Yan Wang. The country is also drawing up new sanctions against Yan Wang. Michael snorted when he heard the words. Their military technology has developed rapidly recently, but civilian technology is still restricted. Sanctioning them is the best and most effective way. Jones nodded, whether it's a mobile phone, a car, or a photolithography machine. Yan Wang was still unable to break through the technological blockade. This is also the trump card for us to discuss controllable nuclear fusion technology with them. We will strike first and then discuss cooperation. They have no choice. Jones smiled, knowing all about black faces. Correct. Jones suddenly asked, "General Michael, when will we end this time?" Michael smiled slightly. "Isn't the Yan Wang Navy quiet now? Let's wait for them to come over and let's go back. It's just a trip." Jones nodded with a smile. "Let our fighter planes go into the air because they turn around." Michael was in a very good mood. Suddenly, he heard soldiers shouting on the deck. He looked over displeased and found that the soldier was pointing at the sky constantly. In the sky, apart from our fighter jets and the beautiful sun, what else is there to shout about? Michael looked helplessly at the sky. Wang Defa. He quickly pulled off his sunglasses, suspecting that he had seen it wrong, and looked again in disbelief. When did that fighter plane go over our heads? Michael pointed at Long Giant in the sky and said angrily. Jones shook his head blankly, opened his mouth, and also looked at the sky. The gray-black fuselage has no reflection in the sun, like an abyss, absorbing all the sunlight. The anti-gravity engine under the wing flashes blue light, which looks very sci-fi. He could barely hear a sound, and he was hovering over the USS Peanut-ton aircraft carrier. It's unbelievable. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never believe that they really made an anti-gravity engine. Jones murmured. Looking at it now, there is no roar of an ordinary engine. It is definitely an anti-gravity engine, but what kind of engine is used as the thrust, and there is no sound. He couldn't understand the black technology on this high-tech fighter jet at all. Fac, where's our radar? Where's the radar? Michael took off his glasses angrily, looked at Jones and yelled, "Didn't the F***K open it?" The saliva sprayed on Jones's face. He wiped the saliva off his face helplessly and said, "The radar is on, but no alarm has been received." Idiots, full of idiots. Michael glanced at the Yongan anti-gravity fighter jets following them in the sky, walked into the radar room angrily, and cursed, "What are you bastards doing? Other people's planes flew over our heads, and you didn't a little warning." The radar soldiers hurriedly searched on the radar, and then hesitated and said, General Michael, we didn't find the enemy plane." Michael pointed to the sky outside. "Is there something wrong with my eyes? Are there problems with the eyes of the soldiers outside?" The radar soldier was crying, "But there is really nothing on the radar, only our fighter jets." Michael walked to the radar and directly took the radar soldier aside. He frowned and stared at the radar. How is this possible? There was really no enemy aircraft on the radar. Jones was also at the side, watching this scene in disbelief. They have all kinds of top radars on their aircraft carriers. Active phased array radar, early warning radar, SBS, 48 air warning radar, etc. are the best radars. Even if the F-22 is at this distance, it is impossible to be invisible, and it is even more impossible not to detect the enemy. But Long Jiang did it. Silently, it appeared over their aircraft carrier like a ghost. "Turn on all radars, including fire control radar, lock me, lock him." Michael felt his dignity was seriously challenged. A plane has been flying over his aircraft carrier, and he doesn't even know it. And their radar can't even find it. The enemy is clearly there. Everyone can see it, but the radar just can't find it. This is too uncomfortable. "General, calm down. The fire control radar lock is regarded as a war. In general emergency situations, it is just to use fire control radar to illuminate, and it will not be locked. That is the most dangerous move. If not done well, a misjudgment will occur and a battle will be triggered." But Michael can't control that much now. Their entire aircraft carrier battle group did not find this fighter, which is really terrifying. How could the Yanwang Kingdom have such a powerful fighter? Michael couldn't figure it out. Obviously, they were the strongest air force. He had seen this fighter at the military parade, and it was the Ryonjian anti-gravity fighter that appeared at the finale. Jones was also extremely shocked. They had already seen the terrifying mobility. Hovering, sudden braking, instant acceleration, hypersonic cruise. Now I can personally feel the perverted invisibility ability. There was no sound in the radar room. "I have to lock him down today." Michael gritted his teeth. Jones 4.1 shook his head and sighed. He knew Michael's temper, haughty, irritable. "Fire control radar is ready. Lock on the fighter outside," Michael formally ordered. The radar soldiers acted immediately. After a while, the radar soldier said inconceivably, "There is no way to lock. The other party directly stopped our fire control radar from locking. Even the fire control radar can't lock, which means that if you want to attack it, you can only aim with your eyes. What kind of international jokes are you making?" The radar soldier was also completely confused. He worked as a radar officer all his life and saw countless fighter jets. "I have never seen a fighter that cannot be detected by any radar at such a close range. Damn it, it's no wonder that the Yanwang Navy didn't move at all. If this news gets out, the whole world will watch Michael's joke." Michael hammered the radar control panel angrily. "No, General, something is wrong with that fighter." Suddenly, a soldier ran into the radar room in a panic. Michael quickly got up and walked to the island. It turned out that when he used the fire control radar to try to lock on Yongyuan just now, the Yongyuan automatic defense system was triggered. Yibai's setting philosophy is that the best defense is to completely destroy the threat. So the soldiers on the USS Peanut Ton saw a horrible scene. What is oppression? Michael now deeply understands. On the USS Peanut Ton aircraft carrier, including all the surrounding battleships, the soldiers looked at the gray-black fighter in the sky in horror. I saw a cannon composed of 3 inclined tracks appearing under the belly of the aircraft. The blue current is constantly flowing on it. The muzzles shimmered brighter and brighter, containing powerful energy, facing the USS Peanut Ton aircraft carrier. For the first time, Michael felt that death was so close to him. Although he didn't fire it, he had no doubts about the power of that cannon. It will be sunk, it will be sunk. Michael roared in his heart. He didn't know why he had such a funny idea. As the largest combat unit in the sea, the aircraft carrier has an outrageously thick armor. It can even resist the shock wave of a small-yield nuclear bomb. Of course, it cannot resist direct bombing. But he just felt that the sci-fi cannon could sink him. Why are there cannons on fighter jets? Jones looked at the plane in the sky in puzzlement. He had the same idea in his heart, and it was such a sci-fi cannon. That shot down, he will die. Bob, what plane is that, ours? No, obviously not. I feel the peanuts are dangerous. I also felt flustered, and the hairs all over my body stood on end. Several F divided by a -18E Super Hornets scrambled into the air, surrounding the Yongan anti-gravity fighter jets, continuously lighting up the air-to-air missiles mounted on the belly. An F-35B also took off vertically to follow the Yongan fighter. The atmosphere became very solemn. Super Hornet report, unable to lock on the opponent, unable to be scanned by radar, and can only be aimed with cannon. FERT Power Number 1 reports, and the situation with the Super Hornet, hell. This is the latest fighter of Yanwang Kingdom. Why is the stealth ability so powerful? It's an unequal battle. Our radar is useless while the other side can. Michael's whole body was tense. He heard the fighter pilot's conversation through the command headset, and his breathing was a little short. Let's retreat. He knows that with this withdrawal, he will be completely reduced to the laughingstock of his colleagues and other countries. But they can't go to war if they don't withdraw. They just beat the Yanwang country, and the ultimate goal is controllable nuclear fusion technology, not war. And if a fight really happened, his aircraft carrier would be sunk immediately, and then it would be even more ridiculous, as he would lose his life. Luo Ping hastily cancelled Long Yuan's automatic defense, and the aircraft carrier Peanutton would definitely sink with this shot. Now is not the time. After the space carrier comes out, we won't care anymore. Luo Ping clenched his fists. At this time, the USS Peanutton aircraft carrier had already turned slowly, leaving the surrounding area of the curved island. He also directly pulled up and left. Fack. What the hell is vertical lift so fast? In contrast, our fertilizer is a turtle speed. Why are their pilots totally unafraid of GGs? Are their bodies superhuman? No, I guess they must have some kind of high technology. Look, this acceleration is too fast. I saw that after rising to a certain height, Yongan accelerated to hypersonic speed and left instantly. This kind of flight trajectory can only be achieved by UFOs in movies. F***K. This won't kill the pilot. Too shocking, too fast. Fake, is Yanwang Kingdom already this advanced? Michael stared closely at the Ryongyang anti-gravity fighter that had already flown away. Judging from the video, it is definitely not as shocking as seeing it up close now. This unconventional, unreasonable maneuverability. Unbelievable is true. We can't let Yanwang Kingdom continue to develop in such a comfortable way. We have to do something. He held the fence tightly. Let those geniuses in the Black Palace think of a way. We must punish the Yanwang Kingdom. In the Zijin military region, Lu Shogwa circled around the dark dragon armor excitedly. It's too fierce. This is definitely the most military individual equipment. He and the members of the Yanlong Special Forces have watched the video. Invulnerable to guns and knives, hard to resist rockets, large caliber rockets in hand, very visual impact. Handsome and domineering. Let them remember the famous scenes one by one. Wang Kamang was unwilling to take off the armor at this time. He even wanted to weld the armor on himself. Song Ming touched the chest of the armor. TSK. What is this so-called phase armor? After so many battles, there is no trace at all. Lu Shogwa said with a smile, we must test it in the future. From the current point of view, hard anti-missiles should be no problem. It's just perverted. Everyone sighed in their hearts. Individual armor, able to resist missiles. Who else? Not only the defense is awesome, but the intelligence system is also very powerful, which can only be realized when it is really fighting. Wang Kameng said in the armor, it can be perfectly combined with the products developed by Yi Bai. Whether it is a gun or a Yong'an anti-gravity fighter, it can be used in all-round joint operations. When wearing dark dragon armor, the intelligent locking is done by the armor. Compared with the YBZ-10 zone locking, it increases the danger level and locks in real time, and the locking target is farther away, with a wider range and smarter. This is his use experience, the first time he personally felt the changes that technology has brought to warfare. Song Ming said excitedly, "Who will dare to say that our individual soldiers are weak in equipment? This is definitely the strongest individual soldier in the world." Everyone has no objection, nodding in agreement with his statement. This is the strongest. Boss, don't stay in it all the time. Let us wear it and experience it. That is, you are also in the early use test. We can only touch it up to now. The team members began to complain, and they all wanted to experience it. Wang Kameng opened the distance warily. "It's good to touch some. I'll slip away first." "Damn it, boss. Don't run away." Lu Shogwa could see that the team members liked this suit of armor. He returned to the office and opened the call with Baiyan. "See, this armor is powerful." Baiyan recalled the video he saw before. Strong. Yi Bai is really too strong. What kind of high technology can he invent? Lu Shogwa leaned on his chair and smiled. There will definitely be more surprises in the future. Baiyan nodded. It is the country's fortune to have him. Lu Shogwa pondered. We have to hurry up and study the penetrating dark dragon armor so that it can be mass-produced. Moreover, if its phase armor technology is applied to our armored vehicles and tanks, it will be directly invincible. In the end, he was quite excited. Baiyan smiled and said, "Don't worry, think about it. We have upgraded the individual equipment to the strongest in the world in just a few months. This is already very fast. Without you, Bai, we are still studying hard now. Don't be too anxious, gone." Lu Shogwa agreed very much. "That's right. The 2 new weapons can greatly improve our army. Let's start mass production as soon as possible." Baiyan continued, "The production has all started, and mass production will soon be possible. By then, our guns will be an era ahead." Lu Shogwa smiled and said that Michael also evacuated. "Okay, let you show off your power and engage in free navigation." Baiyan couldn't help applauding. Over the years, Ying Jiang used the excuse of free navigation to put pressure on Yan Wang and show off his muscles. Today, I was finally scared off. Lu Shogwa's eyes were like a torch. In the future, we will also go to their waters to declare freedom of navigation. In the Jiangnan shipyard, a task refresh time has passed long ago. But the task has not been updated for a long time, indicating that the upgrade is in progress. Just now, the system suddenly reminded that the mission system has been upgraded. Yi Bai quickly opened the system to check. Ding! The task system has been updated. The update content is, the task system will be refreshed in real time after the host completes the previous task. Looking at the refresh rules of the new task system, Yi Bai can say that there are good and bad. If the task is simple, then he doesn't have to wait a month to do the task again and can quickly accumulate technology points. But if the task is difficult, it may take more time to wait for the task to be updated. Added a lot of uncertainty. After the task system upgrade is completed, the task is finally updated. Mission: successfully unlock and manufacture 3 civilian technologies. Task rewards: 2 first-level technology points, 2 second-level technology points, and 1 third-level technology point. Hiss! There are even 3-level technology points. Level 2 technology points can already unlock the space carrier 167. Wouldn't the third-level technology points be able to unlock space battleships? And there are 2 second-level technology points. He just wants to unlock a Mark III armor for himself. Anyone who has seen Iron Man has imagined that he can own such a handsome mech. But now there are more technology points and more advanced. Yi Bai wants to unlock the Mark 50 nanometer mecha in Avengers 3. It is easier to carry and can protect yourself at any time. At the same time, the super soldier serum also needs to be unlocked. He is still just an ordinary person. Too weak and easily hurt. So the next step is to strengthen ourselves and arm ourselves first, so that we can do scientific research better. And as long as the super soldier serum research is successful and injections are popularized among the people of Yanwang will no longer have to be afraid of diseases. The real people are like dragons. 3 civilian technologies. Yibai ignored this before. Our civilian technology is also very limited. He can use more technology points other than doing tasks to unlock civilian technology. Not only to make Yanwang's military rank first in the world, but also to allow the people of Yanwang to use better products and enter the era of high-tech life. He still has 3 first-level technology points and 1 second-level technology point. I don't know if it is enough to unlock 5 technologies. He knows that the more advanced the technology is, the more technology points will be consumed, so choose carefully. Yibai thought of Cyberpunk 2077 again. Although the prosthetic body transformation is good, it feels too painful to combine the human body and the machine. In the future, if the super soldier serum is unlocked, it will be better than prosthetic transformation. Cars are only good-looking, but Apollo is not very high-tech. Suddenly, Yibai thought of a very good choice. He turned on the computer and drew the hover car driven by Will Smith in the movie I, Robot. Is it locked? Yes! Ding! The analysis is successful. The maglev car, a next-generation civilian vehicle, can be unlocked. Unlock! Ding! Successfully unlocked, consuming 1 first-level technology point, and all the technology data of the smart magnetic levitation driverless car have been loaded. Mr. Liu is having breakfast. Qianhao smiled and sat down beside Lu Cheng with his breakfast. Early, have breakfast. Since Lu Cheng participated in the construction of the Wanfeng space carrier, he laughed more often. He has seen too many high technologies, and he can also learn various black technologies. For him, this place is simply heaven. What kind of module did Mr. Liu build? What powerful functions does it have? Qianhao picked up the steamed bun and took a bite, then asked casually. The people around were also listening curiously. Lu Cheng smiled. I'm in charge of the anti-gravity engine module. If you want to talk about the powerful functions of this engine, it's very simple. It is the enlarged version of the anti-gravity engine on the Longyuan fighter. A single anti-gravity engine of the Yanjian fighter can provide a thrust of 1,000 tons. One can imagine the mounting capacity of the Yong'an anti-gravity fighter. Damn it, pervert. When everyone heard that one engine could provide 1,000 tons of thrust, they were so surprised that they all gave out beautiful admiration. This is 10 times stronger than Eagle Sauce's most advanced engine. 2 anti-gravity engines can take more than 3099A main battle tanks into the sky. It's really a miracle with great effort. What kind of aerodynamics? Everything is just a cloud. As long as the thrust is strong enough, bricks can also go up to the sky. With this technology, we can build the world's largest transport aircraft. Lu Cheng thought of the Fat Girl 20 project and fell behind before it was fully installed. The anti-gravity engine is more energy efficient, but has stronger thrust. With it, things like sky fortresses in the future can be realized. Indeed, one of researcher Ye's projects, taking out the technology in the module alone, can promote the promotion of other military equipment. I heard that the controllable nuclear fusion power plant is based on the energy core of the complete Ryonjian anti-gravity fighter. Damn it, if the controllable nuclear fusion device is used as energy source, wouldn't Longon have unlimited battery life? Theoretically, yes. Lu Cheng looked at the crowd and said with a smile, "You think that's it? What I just said is the anti-gravity engine on Longyuan. The anti-gravity engine of the Wanfeng Sky mothership has a thrust that is 100 times that of Longyuan. Holy shit! 100 times? A single 100,000-ton thrust. This is so perverted. Did I hear wrong? 100,000 tons. Hey, it's completely understandable. The modules we are responsible for are also abnormal. Everyone thought it right. The modules they were in charge of were all very strong. So they all nodded. Every technology on the Wanfeng Sky mothership is of a perverted and terrifying level. A single unit has a thrust of 100,000 tons, and the power unit on the Wanfeng aerospace carrier uses 4 such anti-gravity engines. The energy source is a large-scale controllable nuclear fusion energy device built by researcher Jiang of the Dragon Academy of Sciences. Lu Cheng shared the data of the power module. They are all from the same project, so there is no taboo. After finishing speaking, he asked curiously, "What about you? What module are you in charge of?" Qian Hao scratched his head and said, "I'm in charge of the whole defense module." Wanfeng uses 3 layers of protection: the outer layer of large phase armor, the middle layer of particle reactive armor, and the inner layer of superalloy blocking armor. How can I say how powerful it is? What about? He stroked his chin and thought for a while, then suddenly his eyes lit up and said, "Immune to nuclear bombs." Simple, direct, and clear. Nuclear bombs are currently the most powerful weapon in the hands of human beings, and the Wanfeng Sky mothership is actually immune to it. I just want to say, invincible is so lonely. Once the Wanfeng aerospace carrier is built, we will be the strongest. Everyone looked through the windows of the cafeteria and looked far away at the 300,000-ton shipyard, where there were already some prototypes of hull modules. Half a month later, the keel has begun to be laid in the dock, and the initial design weight of the Wanfeng space carrier is about 200,000 tons. This behemoth requires a lot of manpower to build. Lu Shogua transferred almost all the engineers from the Zijin military region, and even asked for some from the Changnan military region. Engineers worked in 3 shifts and built around the clock, so the speed was very fast, and the progress was visible to the naked eye. Apart from developing the components she is responsible for, Rower has almost no social interaction. At this time, she had a piece of bread in her mouth, a pile of documents in her hands, and she was wearing a small, fragrant suit, looking youthful and beautiful. "Where are you going? I'll take you off." At this time, a car with a silver appearance and a cool shape stopped beside her long legs. When she heard Yi Bai's voice, she couldn't help showing a smile and going. It was Yi Bai who drove the smart magnetic levitation driverless car, and he also changed the roof into a convertible. After opening it, the sun shines on him, looking handsome and warm. Rower was slightly absent-minded, but quickly realized, and said with a smile, "Number 14 Factory Building, Mothership Ecological Research and Development Department." Yi Bai pressed a button, and the co-pilot's door automatically and slowly opened. After Rower got into the car, the seat automatically adjusted immediately, which surprised her slightly. So intelligent, she felt that the seat was adjusted just right. She asked curiously, "Where is this car?" Yi Bai started the car. There was no sound of the engine, only the slight hum of the magnetic levitation device. It was very quiet. Passers-by around looked at this handsome car in surprise, because they didn't see the wheels, and the car was suspended above the ground. F***K, hover cars. Although this technology has been researched in many countries, and some car companies have even created concept cars, they cannot drive as they please. Are still in the development stage. When they saw that the driver was Yi Bai, everyone was relieved. Compared to the Wanfeng space carrier, this hover car is just a small toy. Created a small toy, Yi Bai said casually. Soon after arriving at the destination, after Rower got off the car, Yi Bai asked, "How did you feel about the ride?" Rower turned her head and thought for a while. "It's very stable. Because it's a suspension car, it ignores the terrain and there will be no bumps. The car is very quiet, without the roar of a traditional internal combustion engine, and the interior is also very beautiful." Yi Bai smiled and said, "Thanks for the feedback, let's go." Rower stared blankly at Yi Bai, who was going away, and suddenly blushed, regained her senses, rubbed her cheeks, and entered the workshop. "Academician Zhou, I have a small toy here that can be popularized by the whole people." Yi Bai dialed Zhou Ping's phone number. In fact, there are many technologies on the maglev vehicle that can be used in the military. For example, magnetic levitation technology can change the current driving mode of the army vehicles. It has the advantages of ignoring the terrain, fast speed, more stable, cleaner, and energy-saving. This technology can be developed vertically and deeply. Zhou Ping's eyes lit up when he heard the words, popularized by the whole people, and it is a technology that benefits the people. He hurriedly said, "I'll be right over." He happened to be supervising the construction of the first controllable nuclear fusion power station in Zijin City and rushed over as soon as he received a call. When he saw the handsome and avant-garde maglev car, he hurried to the side of the car and bent down to observe the bottom of the car. This is full-time magnetic levitation technology. Zhou Ping saw the core technology at a glance. Yi Bai was a little surprised. Academician Zhou is really amazing. It is indeed a magnetic levitation car. Zhou Ping glanced at him and said with a smile, "This is not a small toy." Although compared with such large-scale military technologies as Longyuan, Dark Dragon, and Wanfeng, the core technology of maglev vehicles is only full-time maglev and at most unmanned driving, but this maglev the device is very versatile. Yi Bai scratched his head. He knows that maglev is indeed widely used. If he rushes to the universe in the future and builds a new city, maglev is more practical than ordinary internal combustion engine vehicles. When he unlocked civilian technology, he also had this consideration. "I will make 2 small toys in the future, and the technical information will be given to you. You can cooperate with other companies, or let the country make them." Hearing this, Zhou Ping said solemnly, "I will seek cooperation from enterprises for civilian use, but they are more professional in this area, and they will be popularized faster, and the technology will definitely not be leaked." For military applications, the Dragon Academy of Sciences will conduct in-depth research and then use them for the R&D departments of various military regions. I believe that a large number of excellent delivery vehicles will emerge in the new equipment tests next year. Yi Bai nodded. "Okay, no problem. It's best for all our people to drive this kind of car. It must be cheap. The cost of maglev is very low. It's best for everyone to popularize it." Zhou Ping smiled and said, "Don't worry, we will calculate the high cost and limit the manufacturer's price so that people can drive such a good car." "That's good." Yi Bai smiled and asked, "By the way, Academician Zhou, how is the controllable fusion power plant going?" He knew that Dragon Academy of Sciences put the first controllable nuclear fusion power station in Zijin City in order to take care of his hometown. This is a good thing that benefits all peoples. Zhou Ping said with a smile, "At present, the peripheral facilities have been basically completed, and the progress of the power grid transformation is also very fast. It is expected that the first controllable nuclear fusion power station will be officially powered on before the new year. As long as the first controllable nuclear fusion power station is completed, it can be spread to the whole country immediately." Yi Bai made a rough calculation, and according to the current speed, the Wanfeng Sky mothership could basically be completed almost a year ago. The Dragon Science Academy is really fast. Yi Bai praised, "You can drive this car back and set a destination directly. It can drive itself." Yi Bai simply instructed Zhou Ping to operate and then watched him leave. There are 2 civilian technologies. Yi Bai returned to his workshop. The second civilian technology, he plans to unlock communication technology. According to his plan, the future will inevitably enter the cosmic era. Communication technology also definitely needs to be updated. And it can upgrade the way of communication between existing armies. Yanwang country's current mobile phone industry is also blocked by Ying Jiang, which is very uncomfortable. It's killing 3 birds with 1 stone. But what communication to unlock specifically, he was a little confused. Because there are no ideal things for him in anime and movies. Suddenly, he thought of a way. He first unlocked the frameless concept mobile phone technology, which only used 0.5 technology points. Then used 0.5 technology points to customize and upgrade this technology. In the end, he got microchip communication technology. This communication technology can make a mobile phone the size of a capsule. It is very convenient to wear directly on your hand like a watch. When needed, a 3D screen can be projected, and direct voice operation or airspace operation will do. Xiao ya, you really made another good thing. Lu Shoubo laughed and called Yi Bai. It took Zhou Ping 3 days to separate the full-time maglev technology from the technical data of the maglev vehicle. Then the technical information was immediately passed on to various R&D departments across the country. Everyone was very pleasantly surprised when they got the information. There are so many uses for this technique. If it is applied to a tank, it will definitely be the fastest and most stable tank in the world. If it is applied to the missile launch vehicle of the Rocket Army will have stronger maneuverability. As long as they can master it, the possibilities are endless. Yi Bai put down the metal capsule in his hand and said with a smile, "The inspiration came to me suddenly. After all, the military industry is done well, and our civilian technology also needs to be improved." Lu Shogua agreed loudly. "Okay, good job. For the country and the people, these are the scientific researchers of our Yanwang kingdom. I called because I heard that you still have 2 technologies. I'm not urging you. On the contrary, I want you to pay attention to rest. You are still young, and there is still a long way to go in scientific research. You must not burn your body." Yi Bai nodded. "Don't worry, I sleep until the sun rises every day." Lu Shogua laughed and said, "Okay, then I won't disturb your work." Yi Bai hung up the phone, smiled slightly, and the capsule phone in his hand was almost ready. Beiyang Military Region. Yiming was very happy holding the full-time maglev technology information. Okay, another high-tech, not only for military use, but also for civilian use, to benefit the people. Wu Mingyu sighed from the side. The achievements of Academician Yi are already unmatched. Yiming nodded and said, "Yes, we need to hurry up and research. Xiaoya provides more and more technologies. Now technology research and development is no longer a problem that restricts the development of armaments. Instead, our follow-up speed has become a shortcoming. We must not hold back what?" Wu Mingyu nodded helplessly. Yi Bai's R&D 570 was too fast. With the help of technical materials, their research was not as fast as his inventing new ones. The popularization of science and technology and the updating of armaments have been restricted. "How's the research on Longyan's anti-gravity fighter?" Yiming frowned and asked. "He has been researching this fighter for 2 months, and the prototype has been used in 2 battles. Wu Mingyu replied, "Academician Qin brought us a controllable nuclear fusion energy device, and Longyuan is considered complete. At present, we have almost done the research. Academician Yi's information is very detailed. They are all based on existing technology to make breakthroughs in research and development. Although it is difficult, it is not a rootless cloud. It should be possible to thoroughly understand it before the end of the year." Kuba. Yiming nodded vigorously and said, Yan Wang, are now rising and no one can stop it. Let's see how long Ying Jiang can dance." Wu Mingyu grinned and said, "Lanhai that day, our Longyuan severely thwarted their arrogance and made Michael on the peanut ton escape in a hurry." Yiming looked at the sky. "When the phoenix built by Xiaoye goes up to the sky, it will be the day when I, Yan Huang, ascend to the top of the world." Changnan Military Region. Bai Yan frowned slightly as he listened to his subordinate's report, and he also got the magnetic levitation technical information. Currently, the Dark Dragon armor jointly researched by us and the Zijin Military Region is progressing very quickly, and we have also improved the existing ammunition bag and the ammunition supply system of the YBZ-10 Smart Rifle according to the feedback from Colonel Wang. Now YBZ-10 does not need to change the magazine, it is directly connected to the ammunition bag, which can realize a real bullet storm. After listening to the report, Bai Yan laughed and said, Okay. This improvement of yours is very good. It has greatly improved the harvesting ability on the battlefield. How is the current progress?" The soldier immediately reported, "Actually, Academician Ye's new technology materials contain a lot of technical materials for supporting accessories. We have all studied them. The Dark Dragon armor will get more components. At present, all technologies have been prepared, and I believe it will be available soon. Achieve mass production. Bai Yan nodded slightly, very satisfied. What did the General Armament Department forcefully say? The soldier smiled and said, "Hey, as I said over there, let them know the equipment developed by Academician Yi in the future, and they will review it as soon as possible. After a simple process, they can even come to the door for approval." Bai Yan laughed loudly. What about the General Production Department? More exaggerated. The soldier seemed to think of something funny. They are all ready. As soon as Academician Yi's equipment is approved, they will devote all their strength to build the production line as soon as possible. Bai Yan has an illusion, as if he has returned to the era when the whole people engaged in scientific research and inventions were not afraid of hardships or tiredness and used their abacus to calculate the big things. All thanks to that genius boy. For civilian use, Zhou Ping handed over the maglev technology to Wuling Jiguang Automobile and signed a confidentiality agreement. More models will be developed by Wuling Jiguang Automobile to replace the existing internal combustion engine vehicles. Skip new energy directly and use magnetic levitation, a cleaner and more energy-efficient technology. Little Leaf. Zhou Ping was originally supervising the manufacture of the core part of the controllable nuclear fusion when he suddenly received a call from Yi Bai and answered it quickly. "Academician Zhou, I have another gadget here. I need you to come here." Zhou Ping looked at the time after hearing this. It was too fast. In the past few days, there is another new technology. The Sows in the production team are not as good at giving birth as he is. Moreover, Yu Bai's main job is to manufacture the core modules of the Wanfeng space carrier, which he developed in his spare time. Okay, I'll let Academician Wei go over immediately. Zhou Ping immediately notified Wei Chen to go to Jiangnan shipyard immediately. Now Wei Chen is in charge of receiving Yi Bai's gadgets. Zhou Ping is in charge of the construction of the controllable nuclear fusion power station, and Chen Wei is in charge of the energy production of the Longyuan anti-gravity fighter in the Beiyang military region. The entire Dragon Academy is fully operational. Wei Chen rushed to the Jiangnan shipyard immediately, and Yi Bai was already waiting for him at the soldiers' checkpoint. After Wei Chen got off the car to receive the inspection, he walked up to Yi Bai. "Xiao Ya, have you made another invention?" "This is it." Yi Bai took out a cell phone the size of a capsule. It is said that it is a mobile phone, but it is actually a new communication device. Let me demonstrate it to you. As he spoke, he twisted the capsule slightly, and then held the middle of the capsule. I saw two pieces of metal protruding from both ends of the capsule, forming a 6-inch frame. This is a capsule phone, twists to evoke the frame of the phone, and requires a fingerprint to successfully evoke. It's gamer-friendly, designed bezels. Play King of Glory, peaceful battlefield, it is better to have borders. If you're just making a phone call, you don't need a bezel. As Yi Bai spoke, he twisted again, and the frame retracted into the capsule. Just touch it to unlock the communication. He pressed the capsule, and a mobile phone interface projection popped up. It can be operated directly in the air, or it can be controlled by voice. Yi Bai demonstrated the air operation, which was very smooth. Not only Wei Chen, but the surrounding officers and soldiers watched Yi Bai's operation curiously. This is a mobile phone? They couldn't believe how a mobile phone could be so small. What about the CPU circuit board? Because it doesn't use a chip, it doesn't need a lithography machine, and the volume is also small. There is also a model that is suitable for military use, and it can be directly attached to the back of the ear. It can connect with our brainwaves through the nerves behind the ears. As long as you press and hold the capsule and your fingerprints match, you can control it with brainwaves and project the operation interface in front of our eyes. Very convenient. And it uses satellite signals, so it's very safe and convenient. As soon as Yi Bai finished speaking, a reduced version of the mobile phone interface appeared in front of his eyes, and he could operate it with the help of brainwaves. When the officers and soldiers around heard the military use, their eyes widened. If this communication method can be applied to the battlefield, it will be much stronger than the current communication method. They will no longer need a radio station. As long as the signal and security of this phone are good enough, it can completely replace the radio station, and everyone can carry it. Not only convenient, but also real-time communication. Smaller than a Bluetooth headset, but has the same function as a mobile phone or even more advanced. Wei Chen took the capsule phone and tried to twist it, but there was indeed no response. Yi Bai handed over the technical information to Wei Chen. The entry method of the developer mode is all in the information, and I hope you can popularize this to the whole people, so that the people can use the cross-generation communication phone and get rid of foreign restrictions on us. In terms of civilian technology, this world is similar to the previous life. Yanwei technology was sanctioned by Ying Jiang, and the mobile phone business and communication business plummeted. Now with his technology, he can completely lead the world. Wei Chen nodded. No problem. I will also inform the people in the communications department of the army to research a model suitable for military use as soon as possible. The soldiers around were overjoyed when they heard this. They are going to add new equipment again, which can communicate with one click and operate with brainwaves. So King High Tech. Yi Bai said with a smile, there is one last thing. I should have to trouble academician Wei to come again in a few days. Wei Chen smiled and said, this kind of trouble. I hope the more the better, haha. Yi Bai scratched his head. It depends on the mission and remaining technology points. After Wei Chen left, Yi Bai returned to his factory, the last piece of civilian technology. Suddenly, a news popped up on the phone. He opened it and took a look. Ying Jiang ordered to prohibit the supply of electronic components such as GPUs used to make supercomputers to Yan Wang. Yi Bai smiled. This is obviously aimed at the many high-tech that Yan Wang has recently appeared. Because scientific research is inseparable from supercomputers. Whether it is military or civilian, it requires a lot of calculations. Ying Jiang is already taking measures to curb the development of Yan Wang Kingdom. Since you have blocked it, then I will create one to break your blockade, and by the way, block all technologies for you in turn. Yi Bai made up his mind and searched Dunyang. Is it locked? Locking. Ding. The analysis is successful. The quantum computer can be unlocked. Unlock. Ding. Unlocking is successful. Consume one first-level technology point, and the NOS computer technical information has been completed. In fact, Yan Wang's research on quantum computers has been very in-depth, and the progress is leading the world, but it is far from reaching the level where it can be put into practical use. Quantum computers are definitely a cross-age technology. More than all supercomputers today. The technology given by the system is mature and can be put into mass production. Compared with the first two civilian technologies, the development of quantum computers is much more difficult. Yi Bai took a deep breath and rushed. Lu Chengquan, director of the General Armament Department of the Army, looked at the application for Army equipment information one by one, all of which were developed with Yi Bai's technology. Damn it, it's Chinese New Year. Lu Chengquan was stunned. There were not 2 or 3 new equipment review applications in the past year. So much came together today. The deputy minister next to him, Zhang Wei, also looked blankly at the materials piled up on the table. It's all technological derivatives developed by academician Yi. Lu Chengquan wiped his face. Grandma, this is too exaggerated. Let's hurry up and review. We can't delay the opportunity to upgrade our military equipment. No problem. Zhang Wei opened a document. The Zijin military region has applied for the approval of magnetic levitation tanks, and the chassis of all tanks has been replaced with full-time magnetic levitation technology. This is awesome. From now on, it will directly ignore the terrain. The off-road ability is the first, and the speed is even faster. Among them, the technology has matured, and the full-time magnetic levitation technology was developed by Yi Bai and given by the Dragon Academy of Sciences. It is conceivable that future tanks are like supercars, ignoring the terrain and racing on the road. And the fire control system of their tanks has also been optimized according to the fire control of the Longyuan anti-gravity fighter. What's more, it's all the chain effect brought by academician Yi's technology. Zhang Wei couldn't help sighing at the end. This is not new equipment, but an improved version of the old equipment, but the improvement is indeed huge. In order to cope with the sudden increase in speed, the fire control of the Yongan anti-gravity fighter was used to stabilize the muzzle so that it can fire even while moving at high speed. Not only that, the armor module of the tank in the record is reserved, because they are waiting for the Research and Development Department to research the phase armor on the Dark Dragon armor and want to apply it to the latest tanks. According to the performance of the Dark Dragon armor, as long as this phase armor is installed, their tanks can definitely sweep other tanks in the world, can withstand any armor-piercing projectiles in existence. This is the benefit of Yi by providing all the technical information, which can strengthen many armaments and derive other equipment. F***K. Lu Chengquan couldn't help admiring. Almost all the new army equipment is equipped with large-caliber electromagnetic sniper rifles. They are already very familiar with the YBD-01 electromagnetic sniper rifle. So we began to develop more models, and the electromagnetic gun has not been developed, because the military took a fancy to the cation cannon on the Yongan anti-gravity fighter. That's much stronger than a rail gun. Zhang Wei took the data of the maglev tank and said, I also have it on this maglev tank. I added a YBD-01 enhanced electromagnetic sniper rifle to attack the enemy's lightly armored targets. I also replaced the original tank machine gun with a YBZ-10 style smart assault rifle. This tank is equipped with Yi Bai's technology, and Miali has directly improved countless levels. Lu Chengquan took out a piece of information and showed it to Zhang Wei. Look, this is a new vehicle application for the Rocket Army, an all-terrain magnetic levitation missile vehicle, which is suitable for all land-based mobile missiles. And why is it equipped with an electromagnetic sniper rifle? No, this is not necessary. It will increase the difficulty of production. Now the standard equipment of the army wants to install Yi Bai's technology. Just when the two were busy, a soldier appeared at the door. Report. Lu Chengquan asked without raising his head, What's the matter? The Army Communications Division is here to report new communication equipment. Lu Chengquan raised his head and looked at Zhang Wei. Let him in. The head of the Research and Development Department of the Army Communications Department walked in with dark circles on his face and a tired face. Zhang Wei said in surprise, F***K, Old Cheng, how did you do this? It's like I haven't slept in days. Cheng Xiao scratched his messy hair and said weakly, We can't hold back. As he spoke, he took out a document and put it on the table. This is developed by our communication department based on the technical information provided by Academician Yi. You can review all the design and technical information of new military communication equipment. Lu Chengquan shook his head and said in shock, You are crazy. You're all crazy. You are trying so hard to study. You want to exhaust us to death. They said that all the army equipment in the country has passed through, and they also said that Yi Bai's technological equipment does not need to be reviewed step by step from the bottom to the bottom and can be sent directly to them for viewing. Didn't expect so many to come. Now it's not you who are lagging behind, it's us who can't keep up. Hell, you are all crazy. Zhang Wei covered his face helplessly. The whole country is frantically engaged in scientific research just to catch up with Yi Bai's progress. All the military regions are desperately studying the technical information provided by Yi Bai, and they all want to mass-produce and arm the army as soon as possible. At this time his phone rang suddenly. Zhang Wei glanced at the number and quickly answered, Hello, General Lu. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Shouguo's angry voice came from the other end of the phone. What are you doing? It's been a day since our magnetic levitation tank technical data was sent over for review. Why is there no news? We are waiting to report to the production department to produce test vehicles. Zhang Wei said with a wry smile, There are too many equipment reports. We are already reviewing them. Don't worry, I will reply you today. Now there is no need to have test vehicles and tests. Regarding Yi Bai's technical derivatives, the technical information is first submitted, and then the production department produces verification products, conducts verification and experiments, and directly puts them into large-scale production after no problem. Maximize the production speed of new equipment. No, I won't hang up the phone. You can show me now. Zhang Wei couldn't laugh or cry. What I'm looking at is your maglev tank project. That's just right, hurry up. The army production department is also waiting. Zhang Wei could only compromise. Okay, I'll watch it now. At this time, Lu Chengquan's phone also rang. He picked it up and looked at it, frowning. Hey, General Chuan. Yiming's anxious voice came from the other end of the phone. I said, Minister Lu, have you seen my Rocket Army's all-terrain maglev vehicle? Hurry up, the production department is waiting. At this time, Lu Shogwa's voice came from the other end of the phone. Produce my maglev tank first, and I will definitely approve it first. Yiming immediately replied, who said that, I'm also urging, I'm sure mine comes first. You grab everything you want. Without waiting for Lu Chengquan to speak, Yiming continued, you give me the interrogation now, I'll wait. Both Lu Shogwa and Yiming are in the Army Production Department. I'm afraid that the Army Production Department is not easy now, and it is even more lively. Because that is the last step for the equipment to be officially put into production. Lu Chengquan glanced at Zhang Wei, smiled wryly, and said, I'm looking at your all-terrain maglev vehicle. It's coming soon. Asking for flowers. The voice of Niebu from the production department came from the other end of the phone. I said, 2 generals, I have enough production lines and enough people to spare. Lu Shogwa replied directly, you see, if the meeting is not enough, you must arrange it for me. There was another scramble over there. Chen Xiao saw the predicament of Lu Chengquan and Zhang Wei and smiled. Pfft, I'm leaving, you're busy. Now it seems that their communication department is the most comfortable. Okay, you go slowly, I'm busy first. Lu Chengquan patted his head and sighed. Now the whole series of magnetic levitation infantry fighting vehicles, and magnetic levitation armored vehicles. God, you are all crazy. Yibai is like a shot in the arm, activating the scientific research of the entire Yanwang kingdom at once. Zhang Wei said helplessly, there is no way. The pressure from Ying Jiang is getting bigger and bigger, and his little brothers in the alliance are ready to move. Lu Chengquan gritted his teeth and said, when we make all these, let's see if they dare to speak loudly. And online, Wuling Jiguang releases a new maglev model, priced at 48,800, accepting reservations from now on. This car announcement directly rushed to all the car sectors, all the headlines and hot searches in the car media. A new era of magnetic levitation has officially kicked off. Ding! The task is completed. Reward 2 first-level technology points, 2 second-level technology points, and 1 third-level technology points. Ding! The task has been updated. Yi Bai let out a long sigh of relief. Looking at the quantum computer in front of him, it was finally completed. He calculated the time. This task required him to develop and manufacture 3 civilian technologies. He probably spent more than 20 days to complete it, of which the quantum computer took half a month. It is a few days faster than the task update time of the previous month. Open the system and check the latest tasks. Mission: after the Wanfeng aerospace carrier is completed, consume all the first and second level technology points. Mission reward: 3 third-level technology points. This mission can only be done after the construction of the Wanfeng Sky mothership is completed. It slows down the task update time in one fell swoop, and the construction of the Fengkong helicarrier does not take at least 2 months. But fortunately, the mission rewards this time are all 3-level technology points. Judging from the current consumption of unlocking technology, Yibai deduces that the 3rd-level technology point can definitely unlock the universe-level technology. Level 1 and Level 2 technology points unlock the top technology on Earth. It can be understood as planetary level, invincible in this planet. The 3rd-level technology point is most likely to be the universe level, and there are 4-level and 5-level technology points above it. I don't know what level of technology is unlocked. He now has a total of 2 first-level technology points, 3 second-level technology points, and 1 third-level technology point. The task is to consume the first-level and second-level technology points, and then he will have 4 third-level technology points. He already has two pre-ordered techs. One is the Super Soldier Serum, and the other is the Mark 50 Nano receiver. Let's do this for now. The progress of the Wanfeng Sky mothership is also fast. Yi Bai took out his mobile phone and called Wei Qin. Academician Wei, I have to trouble you again. Wei Qin said with a smile. Okay, I have to buy some more, haha. In the 2 months since Yi Bai took out the 3 civilian technologies, Yanhuang Kingdom has undergone tremendous changes. In the first week, Wuling Jiguang announced the release of the latest maglev vehicle, priced at only 28,800, subverting all car prices. And it redefines the battery life of new energy. No longer how many kilometers is fully charged, but how many weeks is the minimum running time when fully charged. Too strong. I thought it was fake, but it turned out to be true. I just went to the 4S store of Wuling Jiguang, and it was completely full, and I couldn't squeeze in at all. There are really maglev cars inside. Ha ha ha, brothers, I bought one, I got it. Tell me upstairs how it is. Is it really that strong? Can it run for half a month at full power? I just picked up the car, but it is really suspended on the ground, and it is very comfortable, much more comfortable than an executive class car. Because it will not bump due to bad road conditions at all, it is very stable. BMW and Audi are younger brothers in front of them. What the hell, I'll buy it too. Let's line up, it's been 2 months since picking up the car. The production capacity of Wuling Jiguang is too low, and the price is only less than 30,000 yuan. Class B cars. There are too many people buying them. We have directly surpassed the internal combustion engine and entered the era of magnetic levitation. The release of the maglev vehicle has completely changed the way people travel in Yanhuang during 120. Faster than a supercar, more comfortable than a commercial vehicle, more spacious than an SUV, and smarter than a Tesla. Completely crushed the automotive technology of this era. After all, it was unlocked with the first-level technology point from Yi Bai. In the second week, Wuling Light has reached cooperation with domestic car companies to jointly produce and increase production capacity. Yanhuang has officially entered the era of maglev. At the same time, Yanhui Technology and Lonka Academy jointly released a capsule phone. With the participation of an official research institution like the Dragon Academy of Sciences, the price is only 998 yuan, which immediately sold out the capsule phone. F***K. Shit. I thought Yanhui was dead. Ying Jiang blocked him and he couldn't lift his head. He couldn't make chips or anything. I didn't expect it to be a big move. It has to be the national team. Dragon Academy of Sciences participated and directly came to Wangzhou Technology. You won't give me the chip? I don't want it. Buffalo, haha. I've already bought it. It's so delicious. My God. It's only 998, and the money of too big healthcare is enough to buy a high-tech phone. The performance is directly invincible. Samsung and Apple are all weak. I was on the road with a capsule phone, and all the girls around me looked at me, handsome, and it was over. Capsule phones and maglev cars were all sold out, and sales increased exponentially. Let all foreign car companies and mobile phone manufacturers have no time to react. At this time, Ying Jiang had already discovered something was wrong. Yanhuang surpassed all the technologies they blocked and directly surpassed an era. But they think it should not be popularized so quickly, and it may still be a small-scale experiment. It is impossible to produce a product that transcends an era all at once. It's just that Yanhuang's speed is faster than they thought. Let them see what Yanhuang's speed is. The third week. The weekly sales volume of maglev vehicles exceeds the sum of direct sales of all internal combustion engines, and the Yanhuang government directly introduced auxiliary subsidy policies. All Huaxia people who change maglev cars are ignorant of sales subsidies, and old cars can even be traded off. Not only that, Yanhuang directly issued a plan to cancel the production and import of all internal combustion engines before the year and stop issuing license plates for internal combustion engines. Now all foreign car companies panicked. Yanhuang's huge market cannot be ignored by the whole world. The consumption power of more than 1 billion people makes all countries greedy. But now it is going to directly cancel the import of internal combustion engine vehicles. The Neon Car Series, Eagle Sauce Car Series, and Han's Cattle Car Series that rely heavily on the Yanwang market are all confused. What makes them even more horrified is, in the 4th week, the ultra-miniature civilian quantum computer came out. Graphics card? CPU? Cut the leaks of my Yanwang gamers? A direct replacement, and beyond. F***K, have I time traveled? Can I use a quantum computer? Why Yanwang can jump so much at once? What exactly did we find on the back of the moon? Haha, I'm so happy. I can play any game from now on, and I can pass it on for 3 generations on one computer. Ultra-miniature quantum computer has been bought. The performance is tens of thousands of times higher than what 194090, only 1,998 yuan. 5th week. All the car companies in Yanwang country completed the construction of production lines, and at the same time more models were born, providing vehicles for the people, no need to wait in line. The number of maglev vehicles on the road has greatly increased. Capsule mobile phones sweep the sales list. The performance of all mobile phones is perfect, sci-fi avant-garde. Men and women take it all. After 2 months are over. Oh my god! AI Wei is an international student who has just arrived in Yanwang. This is her first time in Yanwang. When she got off the plane and left the airport, she was stunned and looked outside in disbelief. Hello, Jay. She looked at her best friend beside her in disbelief. But Hella also opened her mouth wide to look at the strange things at this time. I think we should either have traveled to a fairy tale world, or we are just dreaming. I think so, my god. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. At this time, they saw that on the streets of Yanwang Kingdom, there were many cars that were suspended on the ground without wheels. More importantly, on top of these cars, there are many suspended cars, which are driving in an orderly and fast manner, and there is no traffic jam at all. They even saw a lot of people watching TV or putting on makeup in the car. No need to drive yourself at all. Pedestrians walking on the street did not see them holding their mobile phones, but projected a virtual interface on their wrists. Some are even in front of your eyes with voice control. Husband, I'm running to warm up the dishes for you. A girl jogged past them, talking on a capsule phone worn behind her ear. You two beauties, do you want to take a car? A maglev car with a taxi sign stopped in front of them. Wang Lei thought his English was good, and when he saw 2 foreign girls, he drove over. Oh my god, he talked to us, it's real, not a dream. Ivy pointed at Wang Lei in disbelief. Hella circled the taxi regardless of her image, leaning down from time to time to look at the car's sight. There were only 4 apertures. The people around were not surprised by their reactions, and even felt a little pity for them. Hey, there are 2 foreigners who have never seen the world. They can see many such foreigners every day outside the airport. And now it's not just Ivy and Hella. Wang Lei was very patient. Beauty, this is of course true. Welcome to the Yanwang Kingdom in the new era. In 2 months, Yanwang Kingdom has undergone earth-shaking changes. Ivy and Hella boarded the maglev taxi. Ivy said the destination politely. We're going to Zijin University, thank you. Hella hadn't recovered from the shock. She asked in disbelief, it's unbelievable. Why do people in our country tell me that people in Yanwang Kingdom ride horses? There are no cars, and there are no tall buildings. Wang Lei curled his lips. Our Yanwang is not what it used to be. Have you seen that the magnetic levitation car, the capsule phone, and our controllable nuclear fusion power station are about to be completed? Ivy swallowed her saliva. This is completely different from the legendary Yanwang Kingdom. It's too unbelievable. Magnetic levitation vehicles and controllable nuclear fusion power stations are all an era ahead of the world. Wang Lei turned his head proudly and was about to speak. Ivy and Hella shouted subconsciously, "Driver, watch the road, watch the road." Wang Lei laughed loudly and said, "Unmanned driving? Hey, our Yanwang technology is better than Ying Jiang, and we will not be stuck in traffic now. Because of the characteristics of maglev vehicles, the country has developed a dual road system. See? Those flying over our heads are driving on virtual roads, and speaking of which, hey, Wang Lei said it was a trick. Ivy and Hella looked at the cars coming and going above them in amazement. They have only seen these pictures in movies. Unexpectedly, Yan Wang has already come true, Wang Lei said in desperation. This has to mention the super-large quantum computer in our country. All driverless cars and road planning are managed and controlled by that quantum computer. No accident. Next year we will be able to completely replace all the cars in Yanwang country, and you won't see ordinary cars on the road in the future. Ivy is a college student. She understands magnetic levitation and quantum computing. You can also see the technology contained in those advanced communication equipment. After the taxi has been driving for a period of time, it enters the upper virtual road to drive. There are more internal combustion engine vehicles on ordinary roads, so 3.7 maglev vehicles are more willing to take virtual roads because there will be no traffic jams, and there is a plan similar to high-speed rail. Ivy and Hella are like two people who have never seen the world, lying on the window of the taxi and looking at the pale yellow city outside. There are not only high-rise buildings, but also high-end cars and phones. Fake F ****. Can anyone tell me what happened? Why did Yan Wang change so much in just a few months, and the technology has advanced so much? Trump blushed and smashed the table of the Black Palace angrily. There are many photos of Yan Wang Kingdom in front of him. There are pictures of cars flying in midair, cell phones the size of capsules, and quantum computers that people use. The Black Palace was very quiet. No one dared to speak. Let that bastard Michael come back. He was scared to retreat by a Yan Wang plane, and he dared to block the news for fear of others knowing. Fake, we must take action. Mr. President is bad. Suddenly, the secretary barged in. Trump pointed at the photos on the table and yelled, "What's wrong? What's worse than these?" The secretary swallowed. Yanwang Kingdom announced that it will officially launch the first controllable nuclear fusion power plant tomorrow. Zijin City. Zhou Ping looked at the nuclear fusion device outside through the glass of the control room and murmured excitedly, "It's done, we finished it ahead of schedule. Humanity's first controllable nuclear fusion power plant has been built." Everyone in the control room clenched their fists excitedly, their eyes expectant, waiting for that moment to come. The power grid of Zijin City has been rebuilt, and a line leading to the controllable nuclear fusion power station has been re-erected. This line is separately connected to the power grid of Zijin City. As long as it is connected to the nuclear fusion power station, it can independently supply power to Zijin City and remove the redundant electric towers connected to other cities. Liu Shogua, Yi Ming, Jin Jianjun, Bai Yan, and other bigwigs were all in the control room. They all want to watch this holy moment. Everyone's faces are filled with smiles. Even that supreme being is watching online. Liu Shogua straightened his back. Zijin is the focus today. If I hadn't been standing here, I wouldn't have believed we'd actually built a fusion device. His voice was trembling. 22 Yi Ming patted Liu Shogua. Calm down. Haha, what can't be believed? Xiaoya is good at creating miracles, isn't she? Jin Jianjun nodded vigorously. He has brought us too many miracles. All the impossible technological research and development have been broken by him. We are entering a completely different era. Okay. Yan Wang has you by. The rise is expected. Everyone listened to this praise in horror. This is a compliment from the Supreme Being, and the evaluation is so high. A country is placed on Yi Bai's shoulders. Today, TV stations across the country are broadcasting this moment of witnessing history live. When the first flame of the controllable nuclear fusion power plant burns, it represents that Yan Wang has officially entered a new era of energy. From then on, get rid of the dependence on oil and coal mines. Wind power, which can destroy the ecology of flying birds, is no longer needed. Just keep clean water and fusion power stations. I want to witness the entry of mankind into a new era. Unbelievable. We did it. If nuclear fusion power stations become popular, can our electricity bill be reduced to 50 cents or even 30 cents a time? Boldly, brother, Once a dime is possible. Holy shit, in the future, the air conditioner will be turned on casually when it is hot, and I will turn it on when it is cold. Hey, there is no way. There is no shortage of electricity, haha. Netizens watching the live broadcast were discussing happily. This is Huimin's high technology. Let me do the math. If it costs 10 kilowatt-hours of electricity, even if I use hundreds of kilowatt-hour of electricity a month, it's only a few tens of dollars. Damn it, it's great. This is not only good news for the people, but also good news for the factory. Yanhuang. Dear viewers, this is Ying Jiang Satellite TV. I'm reporter Bing Bing, and I'm broadcasting live for you at the site of the first controllable nuclear fusion power station in mankind. Bing Bing was so excited that the hand holding the microphone was trembling, thanks to our scientific researchers who have developed so many high technologies for our motherland. Today, we will witness the first ray of flame in the new era of mankind. He is like the ancient man who obtained the first ray like a flame. It will lead us into a new era. At the end of Bing Bing's speech, she shouted out excitedly, "At this moment, the people of the whole country are looking at Zijin, and the people of the world are looking at Yan Wang. F***K, brothers, I'm on fire." This is the background of the national team hosting. The people of the whole country look at Zijin, and the people of the world look at Pale Yellow. F***K, that's too good. I can't wait to watch the ignition ceremony. Brothers, I am also very excited, but can anyone explain the difference between nuclear fusion and nuclear fission? Why is nuclear fusion so difficult? Brother, to put it simply, nuclear fusion is equivalent to shrinking the sun and bringing it to the earth to generate electricity for us. You can also understand it as an artificial sun. 666. The metaphor of brothers is easy to understand. Moreover, nuclear fusion is a clean energy source, unlike nuclear fission, which uses radioactive substances such as uranium, which poses the risk of polluting the environment. Also, it is difficult to extract uranium, but nuclear fusion can extract enough deuterium raw materials from seawater. It can be said that 2 bowls of seawater can last for a long time for our entire Zijin city. The old brother said that the price of electricity will be reduced because there are so many nuclear fusion raw materials. 70% of the area of Blue Star is the sea, which is almost infinite energy. F***K, awesome, but aren't you afraid that the sun will melt the earth? Brother, guess what it means to be controllable? Ha 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 ha. Controllable nuclear fusion means that the fusion reaction can be controlled, and it serves us completely. Understood. I understand. The child understands. Thank you, brother. It's so awesome. We made an artificial sun, and it's infinite energy. Countries around the world are watching this moment with rapt attention. Some are happy, some are angry, some are unbelieving, and some are jealous. Black Palace. On a big round table, there are 24 generals of the highest rank in Ying Jiang. The red-faced Trump looked gloomy at the live broadcast on the TV. Gentlemen, didn't you tell me that it is absolutely impossible for Yan Wang to build a controllable nuclear fusion power station? His sharp eyes swept across the faces of the generals sitting there, pointed at the TV and asked, "Then what is this?" A general said helplessly, "Our nuclear energy laboratory told us that it will take at least 50 years for controllable nuclear fusion technology, and it will be possible for human technology to break through to a new level before it can be mastered." Then what is this? What is it, you tell me? Trump questioned loudly. As he said that, he looked at Michael. There is also the special Yan Wang strategy. Why did it fail? The controllable nuclear fusion technology can't be obtained. The Nefeso strategy failed. And even go to other people to show 133 muscles, even turning halfway around the curved island, they were scared away. Speaking of this, he suddenly laughed angrily. A fighter came back after you were scared. Your aircraft carrier formation has 4 Burke-class destroyers of 10,000 tons and 6 frigates and 1 electronic warfare ship. You such a powerful fleet was scared away by a plane. You've lost Ying Jiang's face. Michael's face was very embarrassing, but now that this person is angry, he can't explain it. Trump looked at the others who were holding back their laughter. What are you other people laughing at? Think about what the hell is going on with Yan Wang. All of a sudden there are so many high-tech. Are you all eating fat? You guys think of a way for me. Put pressure on it, block it, and use any method to get back these technologies. Michael and the others lowered their heads with gloomy faces, not daring to speak. Both the First Fleet and the Ninth Fleet will go to Lanhai for me, and your two fleets will find a way to get Yan Wang to give us the technology. The commanders-in-chief of the two fleets all nodded vigorously. Don't worry, mister. We will definitely complete the task. That's right, at least we won't be scared away by a yellow plane. He looked at Michael with disdain. Yan Wang has controllable nuclear fusion technology. Don't worry, our force is still the strongest. We will definitely make them restless.
Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.